Hey friends, what's good? Welcome to Storytime. So today's story is about my first car. So I most people get their driver's license when they're 16. Not me. I was too terrified. I was such a In one of my prior stories, I told you I had anxiety. I had so much anxiety that I didn't even attempt to get my driver's license until I was close to 18 years old. And that's fine. But I remember that driving because we lived far out of town, not that far, about 8 miles, 8 kilometers out of town. So if we wanted to go into town to get some treats like chocolate bars or whatever, we usually rode our bikes. And we had a massive hill. It was the biggest hill ever, and it was called the Skidday Bridge Hill. And if you wanted to go anywhere, you rode your bike or you walked. And I mean, you would see kids my age, 16, walking all the way to town just to go and meet their friends at the store and maybe get a burger or something, whatever we were doing. It was just a crazy distance when I think about it now. But I don't know what prompted me to never get my driver's license for a long time. I think I may have had a few friends that already had theirs, so I was able to kind of get into their car. And I don't know if we even had laws back then about letting your friends drive with you. I think nowadays you're not allowed to have anyone drive with you unless you have an adult or a parent or something in the car. I don't know. I'm getting old. But so this what I wanted to talk about though was the cars we grew up with. Now, we lived in the big city for a long time. And back in the city, we had some really cool cars. I remember that my dad had a red Volkswagen Beetle and it had straight pipes coming out the back. So it must have been like a race car. It was so cool, but totally impractical. Because I do remember at one time we were in that car. And my brother and I were messing around, and it had a stick shift, and we were on a hill, and my dad had gotten out, and my brother or myself, one of us hit the stick shift and we rolled into the traffic. I I don't know what happened there because I was pretty young, but yeah, that kind of stuff. So we've had some really cool cars growing up. But the one thing I remember is when we moved up into 100 Mile House into the north, when we were in that old trailer, my dad and mom, I think we might have got this car off of a friend for a really good price, but it was an Audi and it was cream colored. So it looked pretty rich. Like it was a really fancy looking car. Even like for us, for our standards, this car looked ridiculous in our driveway in the country because it looked like a Mercedes or a Beamer or something like that, and it completely wasn't. But I'm thinking back now, Audis were pretty nice. So I'd go in this Audi with my parents, and my friends all thought we were rich. Like maybe we won the lottery because they didn't know cars. Nobody really knew cars up there. And I remember going to school and my friends saying, "How can you guys afford such a fancy car?" And I'd be thinking, it's not that fancy. I think we paid like maybe my dad bought it for like 2,500 or 3 grand or something from a friend. Because here's a side story: my dad actually won the lottery a long time ago, like when I was about, I think, 11 or 12. He won enough money back then to get us a car, a TV, a VCR, like a bunch of really big things that we did not have. So I do remember that. Lottery is kind of, it's in the family. So for my boys, you might win something. You never know. Might be genetic. So we had that old car or that nice Audi. And then I remember we always had a little pickup truck, something like a little Nissan or a Datsun or something like that to go get wood. I think it only fit ever two people in the front. So you'd cram all four of us in there with our, every one of us had the same matching wood chopping jacket, like the lumberjack jackets. So my mom's would be blue, my dad's would be red, I'd have a green one, my brother have a, it's just ridiculous. Like we all match going out to get wood. But those were the kind of cars that we had growing up. So when I was able to get my driver's license, I think I started studying for it about age 17. I started thinking, okay, like my parents would ask me, do you want to go get your license now because we're sick of driving you to town kind of thing. And I would be, okay, fine. So I'd study and stuff. And then I realized, okay, if I'm going to go get my license, I've got to save money up to get a car. I got to get my own car. I don't want to be driving my parents' car. Because at that time, I think my mom and dad also had like a little station wagon, a Datsun or something like that. My mom would drive that to work. But they were getting tired of me. wanting to practice in one of their cars and stuff. So I finally I think I decided, because I was working already. I was one of those kids that started working at age 12, and I did every kind of job. I babysat, I did Carlton cards. Way back in the day, you had to go and take cards. I got a box in the mail. And every week I'd take this box of cards to the drugstores and I'd fill up brand new cards, put the old cards in, ship that box back, and I'd get paid for all the cards I put out. So that's how I got paid. That's one of the jobs I had. And I managed to save up enough money. I believe I saved up $800 to buy my very first car. And it was a Datsun station wagon. It was blue. It looked like a 19, I think 78 or 80 or something. But I bought it off a pig farmer. And when I got it, I found out that the guy was hauling his pigs and sows in the back of this station wagon on his farm. But I was ecstatic because I walked up, I gave the guy cash. I walked out and I had myself a brand new to me car. And it had bullet holes in the doors too, because I mean maybe it was a target for for someone on the farm. But I felt so proud, and that's when I kind of said, okay, now you got to go get your license. You got this new car, it's sitting in the driveway. And so I did. I went and I got my license. I think the first time I got it, or I went down and I wrote it, got it right away. And that changed my life, because then I became the person that drives everybody, all around. That car, it lasted probably a couple years. It was definitely a piece of crap, but it was mine and I paid for it myself. And I remember when I wanted to go buy a new car, I actually sold that car and I got 500 bucks for it. So I felt pretty good. I didn't lose too much. I mean, I probably put more into it. I remember putting a new floor in it myself with a piece of sheet metal. Like, I did a lot of practice with that car on how to build cars and mess with cars. I had a friend who was into cars and he taught me all sorts of stuff about how to fix things instead of going and having somebody else do it. Like, here's how you change your oil, here's how you fix your headlights and all of that stuff. So I was really proud of myself to have that as my first car. It was a piece, but it was mine. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic day, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and yeah, just know that you're part of me building my channel if you've subscribed, and I appreciate it so much. So have a great day, and God bless you guys. See you later.